Hello everyone, myself Devashish Das, Assistant Professor of Electronics Communication Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. In this video, we are going to study about the different topics of analog electronics and its applications, how the analog electronics apply in our different fields of electronics. In this video we are going to study about it, different circuits and its part we are explaining one by one in this topic. Analog electronics. This course is mainly for BTech students of electrical engineering of third semester. The paper code is PCEE 301. Welcome to another session of my video lecture. In this session, we will discuss about the following topics: the voltage regulator, the percentage of voltage regulator, the different types of voltage regulator, the working of different voltage regulator, the voltage regulator IC, the adjustable voltage regulator, and the application. So we are going to discuss about this topic one by one. So let us begin. First come the voltage regulator. So what is a voltage regulator? According to its name, we can identify that the output voltage is going to be a regulated. That means if we increase the input voltage, here we can see a graph, here we can increase the input voltage, but the output voltage is get fixed to a particular value. In this graph it is 3.3 volt. So we can say it is a graph of a 3.3 volt voltage regulator. So if we increase the voltage in the input, it's increase after the 3.6, 3.4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but the output voltage is getted regulated at 3.3 volt. And when it is starting from its origin, so when the input voltage increase, the output voltage also increase, and it get limited or saturated at a point. This increment phase is known as dropout region, and the voltage regulator require some input voltage to start up. This region is called the off region of the voltage regulator, and it requires some little excess voltage to limit the voltage. Here we can see it is 3.3 volt, but I have to apply here the 3.6 volt as a input to get a regulated output of a 3.3 volt. That increased voltage is called the dropout voltage, and the region it get regulated is called the regulation region. So this is a characteristics curve of a voltage regulator, where we can get the input in x-axis and we get the output in y-axis. So it is a very important characteristics curve for a voltage regulator, for any kinds of voltage regulator. So we are going to discuss the voltage regulator one by one. So before going to start the voltage regulator, we have to know the voltage regulator regulation percentage, or it is called the percentage of voltage regulation. The amount of variation in DC output voltage due to varying load from no load to full load is called the voltage regulation. The voltage regulation percentage is given as something like this, when NL is the no load condition of a voltage regulator and VFL is the full load condition for a voltage regulator divided by VFL, and this percentage when NL is the no load voltage and FL the full load voltage. That means no load voltage means when there is no load connected at the output, and FL means when there is a load connected at the output, is known as full load voltage. So we just take an example of these percentages. Is the percentage of voltage regulation, ENL minus EFL divided by EFL into 100. We just put some value. No load condition it is 12 volt, and full load condition the voltage is 10 volt. So the 12 volt minus 10 volt divided by 10 volt into 100. So percentage of regulation is 2 volt divided by 10 into 100. So percentage of regulation is 20%. So it is an example where you can get some mathematical representation of percentage of voltage. So the voltage regulation circuit, there are two common types of circuit for the voltage regulation. One, direct transistors, and another is ICs, which is voltage regulator ICs can be used. Another is you can build the voltage regulator using transistors. These two types of circuits are famous in case of voltage regulation. We'll discuss one by one. So first come the discrete transistors. It can be divided into three categories: series voltage regulation circuit, current limiting circuit, and shunt voltage regulation circuit. So we'll discuss one by one. First come the series voltage regulation circuit. In case of series voltage regulation circuit, it is the block diagram of a series voltage regulation circuit. We can see the blocks. It's a control element is there. First comes the input voltage. This input voltage is fed to a control element. This control element is produce output, but a feedback is there, a sampling circuit and a comparator circuit is there to regulate this control element, and the reference voltage is being provided to get the comparison between the output and this reference voltage. The series element control the amount of the input voltage that is get to the output. If the output voltage increase or decrease, the comparator circuit provides a control signal to cause the series control element to decrease or increase the amount of output voltage. So this is a block diagram of a series voltage regulation circuit. So it is a circuit diagram of a series voltage regulation circuit, sample circuit using BJTs. Two BJTs are present. First comes the input voltage. The R1 and R2 act as the sampling circuit. The Zener diode provides the reference voltage. The Q2 controls the base current of Q1. The Q1 maintains the control output voltage. It is Q1 and it is Q2. You can see the base current of Q1 is controlled by the Q2, and this Zener diode providing the reference voltage. Zener diode here in this case is used in the reverse bias, you can see. So this reverse Zener voltage act as a reference voltages. If the output increase, the voltage through R1 and R2 increase at V2. The VBE of, that means base to emitter voltage of Q2 increases, causing Q2 to conduct more and making less available to Q1, which conduct less. The output voltage decreases. If the output voltage decrease, the whole operation will oppositely happen. So in this way this circuit operates and produce a control output at its load resistance. So another circuit is series voltage regulation circuit, sampling circuit. Here we used an op-amp. Op-amp is a comparator circuit. We know it compares the two voltage reference of this point and this point. If the positive is more and the negative voltage is less, then op-amp produce a high voltage, and if opposite happens, that means if the positive terminal is in low potential and the negative is in high potential, op-amp produce a negative or zero voltage at its output. An op-amp is used as an comparator circuit. The op-amp compares the Zener dart voltage to the output voltage via R1 and R2 and control the conducting of Q1. In this way this circuit works and produces a stable voltage regulated output at its output. Next comes the current limiting circuit. It is the current limiting circuit. As IL increase, that means the load current or output current, the voltage drop across RSC also increase. When the voltage across RSC is large enough, it drives Q2 on. Driving current always allow from the base of Q1, thereby reducing the current through Q1 and the load resistance. So in this way it produces the control regulated voltage output at its load resistance, and it is the example of a current limiting circuit. Now comes the shunt voltage regulating circuit. It is the block diagram of a shunt voltage regulating circuit. Here we can see the here is a uncontrolled input is given, Vi input voltage, Rs is there, a control element is there, a sampling circuit is there, a comparator circuit which compares the feedback, or it just take the feedback from the output and compares with its reference voltage and produce a control signal to the control element which control the whole total current of the circuit. The shunt voltage regulator, the shunt current always from the load resistance. The load voltage is sampled and feedback to a comparator circuit. If the load voltage is too high, the control circuitry shunt more current away from the load resistance. So in this way it produces a stable output. Shunt voltage regulator sampling circuit is a circuit diagram where it uses two BJTs. If the voltage across the load increase above the Zener voltage, the Q2 is on, which cause Q1 to conduct, and the current is shunted away through Q1. So it is, we can say, a bypass type path. If the Q1 is more on, the main current is flowing through a Q1, and if it is on off state, the maximum current is flowing through this load resistance. So in this way the shunt voltage regulator sampling circuits work, and in this way it produces a regulated output at its load resistance. So this is another type, which is shunt voltage regulator sampling circuit using a comparator or op-amp. The op-amp acts as a comparator circuit if the load voltage exists or excess the Zener voltage, the Q1 turn on and the shunt current away from the load. So It is the bypassing path of the BJT, using BJT, a shunt path, ISH. You can see if the current is more in the IL, it's turned on and maximum current flow through it and reduce the current, and if it is low, it is also off and the maximum current can be flow through the RL. In this way it can control the voltage through RL. Now comes to the IC voltage regulators. Regulator ICs, comparator reference voltage, control, overload protection. These are the features of the regulator ICs. So IC voltage regulators, there are fixed positive voltage regulator, fixed negative voltage regulator, adjustable voltage regulator. These three variants can be available in a IC voltage regulator. So let us see first one by one. First come 3-terminal voltage regulator. It is a positive voltage regulator where a Vin is provided, which is the input voltage. It is non-regulated input voltage and a common ground is present for both the input and output, and we can get a regulated output at its output pin. So we just take a look. So it is a voltage regulator IC which is 7812, which is a 12 volt regulator IC, very easily available in the market. You can get this IC from the market and do some experiment at your home also. So there are 3 pins of this IC, 1, 2 and 3. We apply the input voltage across 1 and 3. A non-regulated input is provided to its input pin and we can get a control output voltage or regulated output voltage at 2 and 3. You have to keep in mind, as it is the 12 volt voltage regulator, we have to provide the voltage, input voltage greater than 12 volt to get a regulated 12 volt output. If we give the less than 12 volt, then we cannot get the output as a 12 volt. So we have to apply something around 15 volt or 18 volt to get the 12 volt as a regulated output. So this is a fixed positive voltage regulator, or it is available in IC. There is a negative voltage regulator. It can produce a negative voltage at its output. So it is 79XX series. It can be 7912, that means it is a 12 volt, 7905. It can be any type. So if we apply input voltage, and we can get a negative output voltage at its output. So in this way, a negative voltage regulator also is there to get a negative voltage regulated output voltage at its output. There is another voltage regulator which is adjustable voltage regulator. We can get a adjustable voltage output, regulated output at its output by adjusting some voltage at its adjusting potential pin. So this regulator have adjusted output voltage. The output voltage is completely selected using a potentiometer. Here we can find a potentiometer. This potentiometer adjusts the adjusted potential of the adjusted IC, and we can get the regulated voltage according to this adjusted voltage of this IC. It is LM317. It is also a famous adjustable voltage regulator IC, easily available in the market. So now come the practical power supply. This is the applications where the regulated supply can be used. It can be used as a DC supply in case of chopper supply, switching power supplies. It's used in TV horizontal high voltage supplies, battery charger circuits, etc. These are some few examples. There are lots of many. So that's for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any queries, you can contact to me. The contact number is given. The same number can be used as WhatsApp number. If you have any queries or doubt, you can call me or WhatsApp me to this number. Thank you very much.